Now, this is interesting. This is a question I get constantly, and I always see this on the boards or the comment sections. And that is, how do we avoid more narcissists? Here's a letter. You are a very couraged man, and I want to express my deep respect for the way you handle your situation. Thank you for the kind words. I'm not couraged. I had enough. I had a conscious decision that I had enough. And what I did is I got on this little thing camera, user, I'm going to call it YouTube, and I started talking about it. And that started making me feel better. But what I wanted was help and this community. And it doesn't have to be this channel. Helped me a great, great deal. But thank you for the comments anyway. After having learned now a lot about these destructive characters and how their trickery behavior, I think that I understood the destroying mechanisms intellectually very well. But to handle these experiences emotionally is still hard to do. Tell me about it. Oof. In addition, I made the experience that after this long period of emotional abuse, I seem to attract these kind of people in other areas of my life as well, in personal relations as well as in the professional life. That's right. All the time I see this. First thing is to really understand and really accept that this is not you. This is common, extremely common amongst the victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. I read about these correlations, and I think that this is really important topic for everybody who has escaped a toxic relationship with all the emotional damage that still exists after the breakup. You're right. And that emotional damage does exist for a very long time. Like I said, I've been in no contact for over 4 years now, and I still got emotional damage. But here's the thing. Just like you, I accept and I recognize I've got emotional damage. What am I going to do about it? Am I going to sit there on the chair and throw my life away? Now, granted, for the first year or two, that's exactly what I did. I swelled in those tapes. But then after a good period of time of no contact, I started to get better. Those tapes dissipated. So even though you're experiencing that now, it's going to get better. So my question would be, how can we manage to avoid these kind of toxic people in the future? They seem to smell our emotional abuse, and we might easily become the target once again. It would be great if you could share your experiences with us and how you handle new contacts in your life. Dear Tom, once again, thank you so much for sharing your very helpful insights and experience on YouTube. You really seem to have a deep understanding of these destroying relations, and your work cannot be honored enough. Thank you for the kind words again. So my question would be, how can we manage to avoid these types of toxic people in the future? So it's not that you're going to be able to avoid them immediately, because you're going to run into narcissists in every aspect of your life, whether it be professionally, whether it be a personal relationship. And it's how you recognize that before you dive in. So, watch for the isms. There are distinct clues that I've recognized. I go back and I've noticed the narcissist in my life would constantly do on a repetitive basis that was a clear tell, or as I like to call them, a clear ism. I did a video on that tells in the isms of a narcissist. We're going to run into them. It's said that approximately 6% of the population is a narcissist or has narcissism traits, but only 1 to 2% of them have malignant narcissistic traits. Those are the real dangerous ones. So what's some of the tells, and what did I do? What did I notice by comparing it to my narcissist that threw a big red flag in there? Uh-oh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me, please. Pardon me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not one to cut at videos. I'm not good that way. So, what would I notice? Yes, we do attract these people because we do appear early on as emotionally abused. How do we appear that way? We show empathy. We show a desire to listen to other people's stories. We tend to share too much. We're vulnerable, especially early on. We're incredibly vulnerable. So we share too much. And if that person that we're sharing with happens to have narcissistic tendencies, they are going to seize on that and feed on that and leverage that, put it in their bank and use it when the time is right. So I would say, just first off, watch what you share. It's fine to share with people that you think you might like to have a relationship with, but some of the deeper, more vulnerable parts of your life, be careful. Remember, after coming out of any type of narcissistic abusive relationship, we so desperately want to be liked. We want to be loved. We want to be validated that it wasn't our fault. We want to be validated that we are not fill in the blank whatever your narcissist called you or told you what you want. We want that validation from somebody. So we're willing to put ourselves out there. And if you happen to come across one of those 6% of the population, they're going to leverage that. Isms and tells. In a discussion with a narcissist, they always give off a tell. Notice, especially early on, when they say something or make a statement of a matter of a fact, or they tell you what they like or don't like. And if in fact you do disagree with their position, always kindly tell them, well, you disagree with that because of this. And immediately after finishing that sentence, watch their reaction to your dissent. If you're dealing with someone who has narcissistic traits, they're going to tell you and show you right there that they are not willing to listen to your opinion. It doesn't have value. Or how dare you question what's important to them. See, a non-narcissistic individual or a non-personality disordered individual is going to want to listen to your view and quite possibly learn from it. Value your opinion. Value your point of view. Value what you have to say in life on that particular subject. They be open to the possibility that they may change their own opinion. They may want to grow from it. But a narcissistic person, you and I both know that their word is the Bible. Immediately watch their reaction to your respectful, disascending opinion. Watch their body language. Watch them fold their arms. This is a sign of insecurity. This is a defensive posture. This is a sign of being closed to hearing what you have to say. Watch them repeat themselves. Not only in replying to anything that you say, but when they're telling their story or they're trying to make a fact, they will always repeat themselves, thus pushing their opinion onto you constantly, making sure you get what they had to say, making sure you heard them, making sure you agree with them. They'll repeat in their statements something like, okay, okay. They'll repeat something that's of a negative value to make sure they get that planted into your head, that their opinion is right. And by repeating something in their mind, it's going to make it right. They have catchphrases that they'll use all the time. In my life, it was, I have a bone to pick with you. As soon as I heard that, I knew something was coming. But the repetitive aspect of that is a true tell sign of wanting them to project onto you their opinion of something, and you better listen. Because by repeating it makes it true somehow in their mind. Again, with body language, I notice clearly that while you're speaking or saying something, they will use their hand. A lot of times they'll cover their mouth while speaking. Now, I'm not a body language expert. I can only tell you what I have noticed, that without a shadow of doubt, a clear example of that. Every time they were lying, or any time they felt frustration that you were not listening to them, that you were not appreciating what they had to say and offer to you, their Bible. And it's said that the higher the hand goes up on their head, the more the lie. Watch for that. There'll be keywords all the time, and most of them will become repetitive. But in summary, I just repeated myself. Yikes. Watch their reaction when you dissent. Immediately in that moment. Most of all, do not allow yourself to not let yourself be out there. It's a great world out there. Yeah, sometimes it's shitty, right? But there are good people out there. Make sure that you don't close yourself up so much that you miss out on that. First couple of years, I was a wreck. Look at Sammy. I was an absolute wreck. And it gets better, I promise you. Put yourself out there. Don't share so much. Don't share any vulnerabilities. Listen to how they're saying it, why they're saying it. Listen to their responses to your stories. Do they show any empathy? Do they show any concern at all? And you'll automatically learn how to distance yourself, how to keep away from those types of narcissistic individuals. It will come as an automatic feature to you. I've seen it, I've done it, I've used it, it works. Good luck. I hope this has answered some questions. It's one that's out there a lot, and a lot of people ask about this. I'm wishing you peace with that because you deserve that.